Okay, let's get into this. $49.245 billion.
Wow.
Just let that sink in for a moment. That's the projection for the global mobile point-of-sale terminals market.
Just for next year, 2025.
Exactly. It really paints a picture of, well, how money's changing hands these days.
It absolutely does. It flags a huge economic shift
Yeah.
and one that's really picking up speed. This isn't some small niche anymore.
No, not at all. It feels central to how businesses are running.
Definitely.
And look, we're basing this on some solid research. We've been looking at the Global Mobile Point of Sale mPOS Terminals Market Report 2025, the global edition from Cognitive Market Research.
Pretty comprehensive source.
Right. And just so everyone's on the same page, mPOS terminals, we're talking about those devices businesses use to take payments anywhere, basically.
Like the little card readers you see plugged into tablets at, say, a market stall or a food truck.
Exactly those. Or even in more established shops now, too.
And what's great about this report is it doesn't just give us that 2025 snapshot.
Right.
It looks back 2021 through 2024.
Right, the historical context.
And then it projects forward, way forward, actually, to 2033.
And that projection has another number that just jumped out at me. A compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of 12.4% between 2025 and 2033.
Which is pretty impressive growth year on year.
It really is. It means this market isn't just big, it's set to keep expanding significantly. They're forecasting it'll hit over $125 billion by 2033.
USD 125.4563 billion, yeah. A huge leap.
So if you're listening, why is this relevant? Well, maybe you run a business, maybe you're in tech, or perhaps you're just interested in, where the economy is heading.
This deep dive should give you a really solid understanding of this fast-growing market. We'll break down the drivers, the regional differences, future trends.
All based on this report. We want to save you the time of wading through it all, basically.
Exactly, give you the key insights.
Okay, so let's zoom out again. Global market, huge in 2025, growing fast towards 2033. What's really pushing this? What are the main engines?
Well, it's like a confluence of a few major trends, really. First, just think about how we pay for things now.
Contactless phone payments.
Exactly. That comfort level with digital and contactless methods is a massive driver. Consumer behavior has shifted.
Definitely.
Second, you've got the e-commerce boom. That's still rolling on. Even physical stores often have an online side now, right?
Omni-channel, they call it.
Right. And mPOS is super flexible for bridging those online and offline worlds. Handles payments across all those touch points.
You see them everywhere now, not just fixed tills, pop-ups, events.
Precisely. And the third big factor, the sheer number of small and medium-sized businesses, SMEs, starting up.
Ah, right. They need something simple and affordable.
Exactly. Traditional POS systems can be bulky, expensive, complex. mPOS offers a much more accessible entry point for payments.
Okay, makes sense. Strong global picture. But, the world's a big place. How does this break down regionally? Where's the action really concentrated?
Yeah, the regional data is fascinating. North America, currently, holds the biggest piece of the pie, over 40% market share.
40%.
Yeah, projected at about $18.2 billion in 2025. But interestingly, its growth rate, while solid at 10.8% CAGR through 2033, isn't the fastest globally.
So the current leader, but maybe others are catching up faster.
Potentially, yeah. Within North America, the U.S. is obviously the giant, about $14.4 billion next year, growing at 10.6%.
Driven by?
A lot by that small business growth we mentioned, and just the general demand for smooth, easy transactions. Canada and Mexico are also growing steadily, too, around 11-point-something% CAGR each.
Okay, so North America is the heavyweight champ for now. What about across the Atlantic and Europe?
Europe's also a very significant market, holding over 30% share.
Yeah.
That's about $14.3 billion in 2025.
Any growth rate there?
Slightly higher than North America's overall, actually. 11.4% CAGR projected. The UK is strong, about 12.2% CAGR, really pushed by contactless adoption and SMEs.
I barely use cash in the UK anymore.
Right. Germany's also big, 11.6% CAGR, part of their broader digitalization push. France, a bit slower at 10.6%. But you also see good growth in places like Russia, Spain, Italy, the Nordics.
So quite widespread adoption.
Yeah, it feels like a broader trend across the continent.
Yeah.
And regulations have probably helped there, too. Things like the EU's Payment Services Directive, PSD2.
Ah, yes, pushing open banking and secure digital payment.
Exactly. That likely greased the wheels for mPOS adoption quite a bit.
Okay. Europe's strong, but you hinted some regions might be growing even faster.
Oh, yeah. Asia Pacific. APAC. That's where the real explosive growth is happening.
Okay, tell me more.
So APAC holds around 23% of the market now, about 11.8 billion in 2025, but its projected CAGR, a whopping 15.3% through 2033.
15.3, that's significantly higher.
It's the highest globally. China is a huge factor, of course. Nearly 5 billion market size next year, 14.8% CAGR. Think Alipay, WeChat Pay. Mobile payments are just dominant.
Completely integrated into daily life there.
Totally. And then there's India, another standout. Smaller market size currently, about 1.2 billion, but the projected CAGR is 17.2%.
Wow, 17%. Why so high?
Government initiatives like UPI, the Unified Payments Interface, have massively boosted digital transactions. Plus, you've got strong growth in Japan, South Korea, Australia, Singapore, Southeast Asia.
What's the common thread in APAC, do you think?
A lot of it ties into rapid urbanization. More people moving to cities means growth in retail, services, sectors that really benefit from mobile payment flexibility.
That APAC growth is really something. Okay, what about the other regions? South America, Middle East, Africa, are they in the game too?
They are, though, with smaller market shares currently. South America holds over 5%, about 1.9 billion in 2025, but with a healthy 13.1% projected CAGR.
So growing faster than North America or Europe.
Yes, Brazil and Argentina are key markets there. You're seeing a shift away from cash, a growing startup scene. Tourism helps, too.
Good.
Colombia, Peru, Chile also showing decent growth.
And the Middle East.
Around 2% market share, nearly $2 billion in 2025. But again, strong growth predicted 13.7% CAGR.
Similar to South America's growth rate.
Yeah, very close. Countries like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Turkey, they're digitizing rapidly. Lots of young, tech-savvy people adopting these solutions. Qatar and Egypt are also noted in the report.
And Africa. Smallest share, I imagine.
Smallest, yes. Around 1%, just over $1 billion in 2025, but still growing at 12.7% CAGR. South Africa leads, followed by Nigeria.
What's driving it there?
Things like expanding mobile banking access and, crucially, improving internet connectivity in many areas are making mPOS more feasible and attractive.
It's fascinating how the picture varies so much, but the overall trend is clearly upward everywhere.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. The report looks at the market by components, hardware and software. How does that split look?
Right, so hardware, the actual physical devices, the readers, the tablets, that currently takes the larger slice of the market revenue.
Which makes sense. You need the gadget to take the payment. Exactly. The demand for contactless and mobile options directly fuels demand for these physical terminals. Can't tap a card on thin air.
True, but is that where the most exciting developments are in the hardware?
Well, the hardware is essential, but the fastest growth, the area seeing the most dynamic change, is definitely the software side.
Ah, okay. Why is that?
Because businesses want more than just a payment taker now. They're looking for integrated solutions. The software is where you add value beyond the basic transaction.
Like what kind of value?
Think inventory management, customer relationship management, CRM tools, loyalty program features, data analytics dashboards.
So the mPOS becomes more like a business hub.
Precisely. As businesses want to get smarter, more efficient, understand their customers better, they need sophisticated software that talks to the hardware seamlessly. It's moving from just a digital cash register to, like, a business management assistant in your pocket.
That makes a lot of sense. Integration is key. The report also mentions different types of mPOS, tablets, and others. What's the deal there?
Yeah, the main split they highlight is between tablets and this others category. Tablets currently hold the lion's share.
Why tablets?
Mostly versatility. You can run the payment app, sure, but also your inventory software, your booking system, maybe your staff rota, all on one familiar device. It's an adaptable, all-in-one solution for many businesses.
Right, a central command post almost. So what's in this others category then? And you said it's growing.
It is, yeah, expanding rapidly. Others covers more specialized stuff, like those really small, pocket-sized card readers that connect to a smartphone.
Okay, yeah. Seen those?
Or even newer things, like payment functions built into wearables, smartwatches, maybe even rings eventually.
Really? Paying with a ring.
It's emerging. Think about specific use cases. Field service engineers, delivery drivers, maybe healthcare professionals visiting homes.
Where portability or hands-free operation is a big plus.
Exactly. That need for niche, highly tailored solutions for specific jobs is what's driving growth in that others segment. It's about fitting the tech to the task perfectly.
That's cool. Shows how adaptable the tech is becoming. Okay, one more breakdown. Applications. Which industries are using mPOS the most?
The report points to the restaurant industry as having the largest share right now.
Okay, that tracks. You see servers taking orders and payments tableside all the time.
Right. It's all about improving customer experience. Faster orders, quicker payments, fewer errors. It streamlines the whole flow. Happier customers, potentially more table turns.
Speed and convenience rule in hospitality. Which
Right.
other sectors are jumping on the mPOS train?
Retail is another sector showing really rapid growth and adoption.
Why the big push in retail specifically?
It links back to that omni-channel idea we touched on. Retailers want a seamless experience whether you buy online, in-store, on an app.
Right, blurring the lines.
Exactly. So they need POS systems, often mobile ones, that can handle sales anywhere in the store, not just at a fixed counter,
Yeah.
and that integrate tightly with their online sales, inventory, and customer data.
So you can, say, bust queues during busy periods or check stock instantly.
Precisely. Buy online, pick up in store. mPOS helps glue all that together. Beyond restaurants and retail, you also see significant use in hospitality generally, hotels, etc.,
Yeah.
healthcare, warehouse logistics, entertainment venues, lots of places.
It's really becoming ubiquitous. Okay, so we've covered the what, the where, the how. Let's quickly recap the why, the main drivers, and maybe the roadblocks too.
Sure. So key market drivers, number one, just more smartphones and tablets out there providing the platform.
The basic infrastructure.
Right. Number two, that big shift in preference towards cashless and contactless payments. Convenience, speed, perceived security.
Definitely feel that one myself.
And number three, as we said, that boom in SMEs needing payment solutions that are affordable, flexible, easy to deploy. Those three are really pushing it forward.
And the flip side, what's holding it back, if anything? The market restraints.
The main ones mentioned are, perhaps unsurprisingly, security concerns. Protecting transaction data, preventing fraud that's paramount for both the business and the customer.
Always a concern with digital finance.
Always. And the other constraint is more practical, network coverage. In some areas, especially rural or developing regions, unreliable internet or mobile data can still make mPOS difficult or impossible to use reliably.
Yeah, if you can't connect, you can't process the payment. Makes sense. Okay, and finally on dynamics. What about future market trends? What should we watch out for?
Two big ones highlighted. First, integration with even more advanced payment tech. Think biometrics, fingerprints, facial recognition.
For added security.
Exactly. And also supporting a wider array of alternative payment methods beyond just cards, digital wallets, maybe even crypto eventually, who knows?
Keeping up with payment innovation.
Right. The second big trend is the growth of subscription-based models for mPOS.
Software as a service comes to payments.
Kinda, yeah. Instead of a big upfront cost for the hardware and software, businesses pay a monthly fee. This often includes updates, support.
Makes it more accessible, especially for smaller businesses. Lower barrier to entry.
Exactly. Proving quite popular.
Interesting. Seems like the whole ecosystem is evolving. Now, super briefly, the report must mention who the big players are in this space, right? It sounds competitive.
Oh, it's very dynamic. You've got your traditional POS giants adapting, nimble fintech startups disrupting, and even big tech companies getting involved.
Or a mix.
Yeah. The report gives an example. Adyen launching Android-based mPOS terminals back in early 2022 across the US, UK, and EU.
Okay. What was notable about that?
The integration. Their system allowed merchants to manage other apps directly on the terminal, things like loyalty programs or inventory checks alongside the payment function.
So again, reinforcing that trend of mPOS becoming more than just a payment device. It's a business tool.
Exactly. That's a key theme.
Okay, fantastic. We've covered a lot of ground. As we wrap up this deep dive based on the Cognitive Market Research Report, what are the absolute key takeaways for our listeners?
I think the headline is that massive projected growth, hitting over $125 billion globally by 2033. It's huge. Driven by that fundamental shift to digital, cashless payments, the continued rise of e-commerce needing that integration, and the needs of countless small and medium businesses.
And regionally.
North America and Europe are the current big players, but watch APAC. That's where the fastest growth is forecast, particularly in China and India.
And the tech itself?
Hardware is essential, but the software is where the innovation and fastest growth are, turning these devices into integrated business management tools.
Absolutely. And for you listening, hopefully understanding these dynamics is valuable, whether you're in business, tech, finance, or just curious about how commerce is evolving.
This mPOS revolution touches on so many areas. It presents real opportunities, but also challenges around things like security and inclusion.
Definitely food for thought.
Which leads us to maybe a final question for you to mull over. With mobile tech advancing so fast and everyone wanting smoother, quicker transactions, how else might these mPOS devices evolve?
Beyond just taking payments.
Yeah. Could they become even more powerful tools for analyzing customer behavior on the spot? For hyper-personalized marketing, could they enable completely new ways of doing business we haven't even thought of yet?
Hmm. What does the future of the checkout counter or the lack of one really look like?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something to think about. It's certainly a space that's not going to stand still.